Meant for an adult audience, LoveLine may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised.
LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Hey, everybody, it's LoveLine. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Dr. Drew, board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. Tonight, an interesting show. Dr. Bruce Hensel's here tonight. He's a medical journalist for NBC and also for many, many, many years. Well, I don't mean that in a bad way, but you know what I'm saying. I know you're from the TV is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Stryker's already put me up there with the Staples, not Staples Center, but the Staples with Hal Fishman. I think I'm up and around that long.
Hell, I tossed you in with Dumphy, too.
Ooh, his name did come up, by the way.
We did.
Oh, yeah.
And then we went on to
He's
talk
been dead
about,
for a few years, so that's the problem.
We went on to talk about Staples and then no Staples.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Those Lakers.
Oh, Staples Center, yeah, yeah. By the way, all right. Well, I was driving in. I saw the big "Go Lakers" thing on the Staples Center thing, which is look. They lost 2 hours ago. Someone's got to hop on that sign.
They just lost.
You know, let's go, people.
It wasn't a cliffhanger either.
No, 25 points. Also, Rene is in here now. Rene is the subject of a documentary called "The Opposite Sex." Rene's story, a very interesting story. Drew, tell it.
Yeah, well, I'm at Rene tell it. Why don't Rene tell us?
All right, Rene, you tell it. By the way, it's on Showtime. It's currently airing on Showtime, and you can go to www.sho.com to find out airing times. Yes.
This is a topic that comes up on the show periodically. We've been wanting to dig
Gender
into
reassignment.
Yeah, and so Rene has had this experience, so you're on.
Okay, what is it that you're...
Your story.
Well, since I was 3 years old, about 3. Well, actually, at 3, I told my mother that I was a boy, and we kind of argued, and I said to her that if I wasn't physically on the outside, that that God would make me one. And pretty much in my life have not ever turned back from that statement.
So where'd you grow up, by the way?
I grew up in Fort Worth, Texas.
And you started off, just for the sake of clarity, you started off a female. I mean, when you were 3, you had female genitalia.
Yeah, I would never say I started off a female.
I know, but
yeah.
Here's the problem: if we get into semantics, it's going to get confusing for people that are listening. So, just for the sake of the people listening at home, a lot of them stoned, quite frankly, and drunk behind the wheel.
Makes it that much worse.
Which is our key demographic, the drunk driver. We'll just say started off as currently and that kind of stuff. It'll get confusing otherwise. So started off a female, told your mom at 3 you were not one, you were male, and sorry, continue.
Correct. And just by the time I was 11, just started beginning to step into the role of what it was I felt inside, and pretty much I've lived that way my entire life.
So at 11, let's say you're adolescent. Are you attracted to males or females?
At this particular time, I'm not really attracted to anyone.
At the point at which you start getting attracted to other people, is it males or females?
Females.
Attracted to females. And do you have a problem with that at that point? Do people start calling you lesbian? Do you start feeling like there's some confusion? Or do you still think to yourself, I'm just a male and people don't... Yeah, were you dressing as a male at that point?
Yes.
Did people think you were male?
Pretty much for the most part.
So when you would you go out with girls in high school?
Yes.
And they didn't know you had female genitalia?
No.
Yeah.
There was one episode.
Same with me, actually.
But they didn't know you had female genitalia?
Yeah, they had a suspicion.
Or you went out with females?
There was one episode, actually, when Rene's mom took him over to his girlfriend's house and pulled his shirt up to prove that he was female to her, biologically female,
really?
Even though he had a girlfriend and felt like he was a male. His mom exposed him to his girlfriend.
Yeah. You should have seen that one coming, by the way. You never when the mom or dad says, let's head over to the girlfriend's house.
How old were you when that happened?
Yeah, when did that happen?
About 14.
Was your mom abusive, generally?
No.
That's a pretty abusive thing to do. Not pretty abusive, profoundly abusive.
Well, maybe she was looking for a little shock therapy or something. Thought it was going to snap him out of it or something like that. I mean, but people
at their wits' end.
People their ways are loving but crude, oftentimes. You know. Oh, do you have brothers and sisters?
I do. I'm the baby of 4. I have 1 brother and 2 sisters.
How do they do with the whole thing?
Okay, I guess. I mean, now it's been a pretty rough road traveling, probably as much for them as me.
And what about your father? Is he around?
No.
So he's out of the picture.
Yeah, he was
All
a
right.
loser from the beginning.
So your mom is your mom's a working mother, and you have two siblings. You're the youngest, and now you're in high school. You're dressing as a male. You're passing yourself as a male. But what happens for like gym class and stuff like that?
I just hit it well. That's pretty much all I can say. Yeah.
But there's nothing. They don't mark anything down on your card or your file. There's nothing in the file. You know what I mean? I mean,
listen, public high school.
Public high school.
Public high school.
Yeah, they're all.
Yeah.
I went to North Hollywood High. They didn't even care what you were.
I got kicked out of a couple of them.
Really?
I was born and raised in Texas, and Texas, there's
So you would go to gym. You would go to the gym and stuff. You just wouldn't shower, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I got by with it. It's not really hard to hide yourself, and you know.
And why'd you get kicked out of high schools?
Somehow it always got brought up. The situation always got brought up.
And that got you kicked out?
Got me kicked out, yeah.
Really?
In the 80s, it wasn't real liberal. And
Weird.
Now, did you have people that knew you as a female from the past? I mean, like guys you went to grade school with who followed you into high school, who ratted you out?
No, we probably moved around too much for that. My early years were in Denton, and then my later years were in Fort Worth.
Why were you moving so much?
It's just my mom was a mover.
What kind of work did she do?
Pretty much like waitressing and that kind of thing.
Did you feel yourself to be her caretaker early on?
No.
No?
No. Okay. No, but there was a certain point where I didn't feel she was my caretaker either.
She parentalized you?
Yeah. So
just pushing the hoop ahead here. So now you're in high school. You're having a little trouble, but you're fooling 95% of the people, right? You're doing a decent job, by the way.
Pretty much.
And now you meet a woman. Mm-hmm. Is it you meet your girlfriend, soon to be wife, or eventually to become wife in high school?
No.
No, you meet her out after high school.
I met her while she was in high school, but I was already out of high school.
Smart. That's what I'm going to do in about 10 years. I figure about 10 years on my wife, and then I go back to high school as a woman, Drew, and meet the next Mrs. Corolla.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm going to need a note from you, by the way. Oh, we'll get into this off the air.
Oh, no doubt.
I got it all work out. Bruce, hang out. We didn't talk too. Need some work from you. All right, so you get out of high school. Now you're just taking jobs. What, do you have a profession, or are you just floating around?
Just kind of at that point floating around, not really knowing what I want to do. And
Right. And now you meet now how old are you when you meet your girlfriend?
20.
You're 20. She's in high school. And you guys have a relationship for 12 years.
14.
14 years. All right.
Does that bring us up to today?
Up to date, yeah.
Oh,
So you have
all right.
had for 14 years.
All right, maybe this is the bio's a little old or something. So you have a 14-year relationship. She doesn't know you're biologically a woman?
It's not true. She knew.
She knew.
She knew that I had breasts 3 days into the relationship. She knew that I was transsexual. I mean, she was the actual first person that I ever said, hey, I was born this way.
Right. And she considers herself heterosexual.
Correct.
And
Okay.
How did she deal with the original reveal? How'd that go?
Well, originally how she dealt with it was pretty good. How she dealt with it 12 years later was
Really?
what was the shocking.
Really?
Later it got bad.
Yeah, it got bad. After the church kicked us out, it got pretty.
Now you were, by the way, that's one of my things on my list. You know how I have that list of having my hands registered.
Yes. You want to get kicked out of the church?
And then, and jumping into a body of water with a knife in my mouth.
Yeah.
I want to be tossed out of a church.
Any particular church?
Not from the congregation.
Physically, church.
Physically,
Yeah,
like a bar.
Yeah. Thrown out by big guys. that feed you
Thrown
in the
out
street.
onto the street,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and then have them do this with their hands as they head back in. Yeah. All right. So you're okay. So now let's see. You've been together for a long time. Now you're looking to get the gender reassignment, right?
And let me say,
you're looking to get the surgery.
Before you go on, just real quick, I just want to say for callers, we like to kind of stay close to this topic tonight as much as possible. We'll take the usual LoveLine calls too.
Really?
Yeah,
all right.
But just call in with if you have questions about these kinds of things. If you've had issues yourself, Renee and Bruce know a lot about this topic, and they can answer your questions. Or if you have questions for them, because I know we've had a million.
Yeah,
and it's never ending.
We had Dr. Alter on here, which is somebody you guys must have come across at some point.
Actually, in the other movie, Gary Alter is the doctor in the male to female that we did, which is Jamie's story. He was not the doctor for Renee. He was the doctor for Jamie's story, which is the other movie.
Yeah, well, the male to female seems like a much more common procedure than the female to male.
Yeah, it's more common for a lot of reasons. First of all, the estrogen that they take at first is much weaker than testosterone. Second of all, the surgeries are very good, so a lot more go through with that surgery.
Yeah.
Another quick aside, Bruce and I had talked about how much we both agree that testosterone is a drug. Mm-hmm. And that when you take somebody and put them under the influence of testosterone, it changes them substantially.
Yeah, when we first met Rene, one of the reasons I thought about not having him in the movie when we were first looking for our subject was he already looked so male, we were afraid we wouldn't have the visual arc. But once we heard he and Juana's story, it was a no-brainer because it was so deep, so profound.
And Juana's
so
the wife.
Layers.
Right.
Juana's the wife.
Okay, so you could never tell Renee started as anything other than a male, but you so now you're well. I don't even did you undergo the surgery?
Yes.
You had the reassignment surgery, and that was how long ago?
About close to 2.5 years ago.
And when did you get started on the hormone therapy?
When I was 22.
All right, and how does that work? Do you just go talk to a doctor? Do you insurance cover it? Do you save up money? Is it expensive? Yeah.
You mean for which part? For the testosterone?
Just getting started. Yeah, just getting.
What other parts are there
started?
than testosterone?
Well, for some people, before they even can start testosterone or estrogen, whichever is the case, they have to go through years of therapy. That wasn't the case for me. I met with a therapist for about 45 minutes, and everything else kind of fell into place from that point.
Mm-hmm. And so then you go talk to a doctor that does this, and you begin the therapy. You begin the estrogen therapy, or testosterone therapy, with like a note from the therapist. You have to get a stain stamp. Sane stamp, like on something. I need one of those too, by the way.
No possibility.
Yeah. I think that many different people may want to put themselves into a category of transsexuality. I think that people have different reasons for it. Some people were actually, like me, feel they were born in the wrong body, and it starts at a very young age. But different people have different reasons for doing it, and so because of that, some people are required to go through years and years and years of...
Right, but I mean, you do you have to present something to the doctor who begins this therapy with you? Well,
yeah, sure. I mean, the doctor that's going into it has to know that, you know what you're doing.
But it's just a communication from the therapist?
It's a wide
I'm talking about like a protocol here, an official protocol, not a state of mind.
Harry Benjamin standards.
Yeah, they're the Harry Benjamin standards for gender reassignment. But
what is that? Who is
Harry
that?
Benjamin is an association, was one of the therapists who treated Christine Jorgensen, who was the first transsexual to actually have surgery in 1954, who, believe it or not, had more print written about it than any human being up till that point. But that's not a strict protocol. What you get is, let's talk about reality here. What you get, some people get to hormone specialists, endocrinologists, without ever going through therapy, and the hormone therapists give them the hormones.
Really?
Just like people can get other drugs. Some people go to a therapist, then get to the hormone therapist, but almost all of them need to go through what's called an RLT, real-life transition, where they take the hormone for a certain period of time and dress as the opposite sex before the surgeon will consider them for the surgery.
So the big step is the surgery part, not the hormone part.
Well, some people think we do a panel after the movies to talk to other people because there are different paths from Renee. Some people stop short of the surgery. The surgery is not the answer.
A lot of the males do, right?
A lot of the female to males do. They get such a physical change with the testosterone, and the surgeries are so lousy in some cases that some people stop. And there's something that came up before that I want to bring up to you and to the audience. Who you're attracted to and who you feel like inside. Gender and sex are two completely different things. I've met people who wanted to be women who were biologically male who were attracted to women, the same who were attracted to men. I've met women who were attracted to men but wanted to be biologically male. I met one man who wanted I met a woman who wanted to become a man. It's hard to keep the pronouns straight sometimes.
Man, I'm not sure if I should get a boner or not. I'm all over the map.
Well, that's a little worrisome overall.
Yeah, well, thankfully, my reaction time isn't what it used to be, so we're cool as long as you keep moving fast.
This woman wanted to be a man, but wanted to be a gay man, so didn't want the surgery.
Right.
So she was a woman biologically, but stayed a woman biologically to live with a man. So gender
with a gay
and
man.
sex. Right, exactly.
Because when the patients I've treated a lot of them, male to female transitions, about 80% of them did so to have lesbian relationships with females.
Absolutely. And in the male to female, the numbers are very different. They're almost reversed. But it's not a catch-all. It's very different for everybody. But what I learned in the course of making this movie over 2 years is that sex and gender are two different things. Who you feel like and who you're attracted to are not always something that's in concert.
Well, that's because what people don't understand about transsexuality is I didn't change my body so that I could go out with a woman. If I was a lesbian, I would be like, hey, I'm a lesbian.
Yeah.
I don't give a what you think.
Right.
But that's not the case. I was a man born inside of a woman's body, and that caused me problems, and I didn't change over into this body so that I could go out with women. I changed over into this body so that my outside and inside come together.
Well, let me ask you this: your wife, who is not a lesbian, at least that's not that wasn't her sexual proclivity. Hadn't been with women before you, right?
Correct.
And presumably had been with men before you.
Correct.
And now you guys engage in what would be, I guess, considered lesbian intercourse, right? I mean, before the surgery.
No.
No. How's that
you
work?
would consider lesbian intercourse, but some people might consider it that.
Well, I mean,
the same action that a lesbian would go
but
through,
no.
the same physical action.
But no.
No?
I mean, she never physically
She never
touched
gave you
me.
no oral sex?
No.
That's
No.
a deal breaker.
Nobody did.
That's a deal breaker.
You also said that nobody had ever seen you naked.
Nobody had ever seen me naked, including my wife.
Including your wife.
Until after the surgery. So I'm a very rare case. I mean,
well, what's going on with her? I mean, this seems like. I'm sure she's in love with you, but
I'm just thinking
at a certain point,
you want
to see your partner naked, don't you?
Yeah, but only she gets the oral sex. This is something you need to rig up in your life.
Oh, I see. All right. I'm slowly getting back on board.
As a man, you don't understand what a woman goes through sexually, just like as a woman.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand what a man goes through.
I know there's a difference, but this is pretty far off the charts. You know what I mean? I mean, there's fluctuation and there's variability and everything, but this, not seeing your partner in the nude for 14 years or 12 years before the surgery or whatever it is way, way off the charts.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I can understand where you're coming from, but, being in the relationship, I don't know that I agree with where you're coming from. I just can understand what you're saying.
When we first met Rene and Juana, originally I was thinking we can't use Rene because he looks too male already. But when we heard their story, basically for Juana, this was a confusing, awakening time for her. She felt that up until the time that their church discovers that Rene is going to go ahead and have the surgery, she's able to live with it. Once the church finds out, throws them out, they start having trouble. Renee starts having issues, which Juana starts having issues, which Renee has one view of, which Juana has another view of. She starts feeling like she's not so sure this is where she wants to be. Renee starts feeling like she's abandoning him, and that's part of what happens in front of the camera. It's an issue for both of them. For her, she was very young when she met Rene. She meets Rene. She lives with him. She's very much in love with him. And then when he has the surgery, things change. When he decides he's going to have the surgery, everything changes.
Who dropped the dime on you at church?
Actually, I dropped a dime on myself.
Oh, really?
It
came out.
Well, my wife's brother and his wife were kind of troublemakers and went to some people in the church that they knew were going to gossip and told them that I was really a woman. And from that point, it just kind of snowballed, and I had somebody come to me, and when they come to me, I said, well, yeah, this is true, and let me explain to you. And so at this point, I went to the pastor of the church, which was a really close, I thought, friend of mine, and say, here's what's going on, and here's what's happening. And so he feeds me a load of crock when it's just me and him, because he was literally afraid I was going to be.
Oh, wait a minute! Well, you can't say the S word.
Oh.
I know it seems like you should be able to on this show, but it'd be very bizarre. I'm just picturing Renee beating the S out of me.
Unacceptable.
Not being very confused. Okay, it's really, it takes a while. It's like some sort of altitude you have to adjust to with the he or she or he started as and went back, or female to male, blah, blah, blah. It's like, and I always feel like I'm a step behind the whole thing.
I want a chalkboard always. Like this goes this way.
I need some form of a graph. So let's get to the surgery part. You had the surgery, and it worked. I mean, it came out. You're satisfied with the product?
I don't know that I'm 100% satisfied, but I'm a whole lot better than where I was. I'm whole.
They make it out of your forearm?
Oh, no.
There are two types of surgery. Yeah. There's one called a phalloplasty, where you take tissue from elsewhere. The problem with that is, although it's large, it doesn't have sensation. Another one is where you build it up from inside. It's called a metoidoplasty. Renee had a variation of that, was an experimental procedure. The problem with the metoidoplasty is you don't get very much tissue. With the phalloplasty, you don't get much sensation. The surgeries are weak, and Renee got an experimental one, which is a little bit... Renee not only wanted to be a spokesperson for transgenders, he obviously can express himself very well and is charismatic, but he was willing to be a guinea pig who really underwent an experimental procedure because he feels he wants to help others to reach out to people who don't know about it.
Well, so it wasn't a total success, or there wasn't the satisfaction levels, not what it could be.
I think Renee.
Well, size-wise, satisfaction level is not what it could be. I'm like any other. I'm like any other man. Well, right now probably about a little under 3 inches. But I'm whole, so I'm not complaining.
Do you get to have erections?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can say the E word then, huh?
Yeah. We can say everything but the S word and the F word. All right, so you get the erection. Does the penis function? Does things come out of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Wow. Drew's going to need to see that demonstrated during the commercial break. Maybe a little something in the coffee, Drew.
Actually, that was one of the moments in the movie that was really fulcrum, because, as Renee said, nobody had ever seen him naked. And when the doctor has to examine him, because he looks so male, that was a very difficult time. At that point, Renee, we stopped the cameras, and Renee said, "Do I have to do this?" And I said, "Well, if we have to see the change." And Renee was so willing to go someplace that he had never been before, because nobody else had ever seen him naked, that was a big turning point in the movie, and I think Juana didn't want him to do it.
Well, let's, and then we got to talk about your wife, and then you actually getting, junk reassignment at halfway, or 12, 14 years into a relationship. It's just it's an onion that just has many layers to it. Dr. Bruce Hensel is here tonight, and along with Renee. The Opposite Sex, Renee's story, is on Showtime documentary. Go to www.sho.com. Find out times for airing. We'll get back into this subject, which Drew and I think find infinitely fascinating. even if all Drew does is nod and grunt. Yes, Drew?
Even that.
Yeah, it would have been better if you just went,
I was thinking about that, but...
All right. Well, we'll never get that back.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hello, this is your radio. LoveLine will be right back.
Hey, everybody, it's Loveline. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. David Allen Greer, or DAG, or possibly my main man, is how we also know him. Coming in tomorrow night to lend his considerable time to the radio show. That's great. You know,
Twinkie hole, baby! Woo!
DAG comes in once a year. I slide the chair back. We'll get in about 4 syllables an hour and let him carry the show, and then I get angry at Drew when we're done because I realize that's what Drew does every night. Just nod and breathe, buddy. But I feel like I haven't even done a radio show. Drew, when you're driving home, do you ever think, well, where was I? What was I doing? I must have some kind of nighttime gig. I wonder if I manage like a KFC or something. I'm going to smell my cuticles. Maybe I'm in fast food. Oh, we get paid the same, too. Dr. Bruce Hensel here, everybody, from NBC all those years. Won himself a Emmy. Yeah, he's a medical journalist. Also, he makes himself documentaries, and the subject of his latest is fella. Yeah, I got that? Yeah, right. By the name of Rene. Trying to, I'm scared to say and assign anyone a gender.
Yeah,
everyone, we're just us, and we're all androgynous because I think I'm going to screw it up. Rene is here. Rene was born with female genitalia. Lived his life until what age, Rene?
As with before the gender reassignment surgery.
Yeah. What age?
What age was the surgery?
31.
Till 31, and then had the gender reassignment surgery. You can go to www.sho.com to see when it airs on Showtime, by the way. All right, and so the surgery was an experimental variety. Overall, you give it a 5. I mean, it's not exact science, right?
Depends what your expectations are.
Is there more to go?
Well, Renee has had a couple of touch-ups already, right? And still more to go,
And
right?
something comes out during orgasm?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Jeez, I'll tell you.
Well, he's not.
That's going to be my new, when they go, they can put a man on the moon, but they can't make a toaster oven. This is my new man on the moon.
It's not going to be semen and sperm.
Oh.
Because you're not going to make that unless you've got the apparatus to make that, right? And Renee's surgery, of course, required a hysterectomy as well, although he had been on testosterone for so long that his internal organs has pretty much shrunk.
Well, I got a couple. First off, they charge chicks get a break on like car insurance.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? There's a handful of reasons why you wouldn't mind going down as a lady. You get to live longer. You get an insurance break. What do you got? Like your car insurance, you paying the male rate or the female rate?
I'm a male.
So you're paying the male rate?
Just if that's what you pay, that's what I pay.
I'm not sure what I pay.
You pay male rate.
I may even pay like the a-hole rate. Are you angry, Renee? No? Okay.
For what?
I don't know. Just you seem like you're PO'd or something. You're cool?
No, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where to come from.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you always considered yourself a male, but I don't know what the government, for instance, would do. Like, if you wanted to join the Army, I don't know that they would just let you join the Army. I don't think they would.
Well, there's a lot of ignorance. There's, I mean,
No, but I don't mean commentary.
I don't mean that.
What the facts are. Just
right,
the
they wouldn't let
just
you
interested
do that.
In the facts.
Well,
what is this country?
well,
do
in the facts, there's a lot of ignorance.
But what would the fact be? Would they allow you to join or not because you're female? That's just the question we're asking.
Right. I'm not
probably not.
They
don't tolerate you being gay, so why would they tolerate you being transsexual?
Well, they let you join the army if you're gay.
Well, I think...
And they let you join if you're female.
They got the don't ask, don't tell thing. All right, I was trying to get you a break on your car insurance. That's all. Back. All right, let's... okay, so the gender reassignment went okay. Something comes out, but it's not semen.
What is it?
Well, it's natural fluid, bodily fluid.
From like Bartholin's glands or something? Where do they hook up?
Internally. I mean, women, some women have orgasms with fluid.
Yeah.
So it's just not that simple. We're all born female. When we are technically inside of our mothers female until we're 3 months of age inside the womb. And we all have, I don't know which words I can use here, but we all have female genitalia. Then if testosterone shows up in the bloodstream, that changes to male genitalia. If you don't have testosterone inside your mother, that never happens. So you can be XY and born with female genitalia, and then you don't find out until you're 13. You don't menstruate. They do a chromosome test. You find out you're XY. That's called a pseudo-hermaphrodite. So it's just chemical.
Isn't that testicular feminization?
No, that's a pseudo-hermaphrodite.
Huh.
Testicular feminization is when you start out as a male, but you
XY,
actually
yeah,
have the
you've got a female, I
feminization,
see,
right?
yeah.
So
Right. That's when your wife confiscates your nutsack. Didn't that happen to you?
That's yes.
That happened about
yes.
12 years ago. When did you get married?
91. So yeah.
Honeymoon, 91.
Yeah, testicular feminization.
The point is that the apparatus starts out the same. So medically, it's not as major as you think it is. To go from male to female,
Right.
it's actually what they do is they invert the organs and they create the female out of it for female to male.
What about long-term medical effects, for lack of a better term? I mean, do people know how this affects you down the road?
Well, we haven't had long-term studies, but we do know, for instance, there was another movie on called Southern Comfort where the arrogance of the doctors really failed the patient, where even though it was a female to male transition, they did not take out the ovaries and the person ended up dying of ovarian cancer.
Yeah,
So,
you gotta do that.
But if you take testosterone...
Hold on, that was called Southern Comfort?
Yeah, the reason... I know, it doesn't sound very
No, but
comfortable.
there was a movie where the Army Reserve guys were hiking through the bayou with like Keith Carradine in it called Southern Comfort. Yeah, really?
Yeah, well, Southern Comfort is also the name of a gender reassignment conference that occurs in the South. So that's where it got its name from.
Oh, really?
But that was the arrogance of the doctors. Your question about long-term effects, we don't know. We haven't studied them really well. But it's basically the long-term effects. If Rene is on testosterone, will be for life. So basically, he's more likely to have the longevity and the effects that a man would have. And he considers himself a man, and he's on testosterone.
Except we don't know the effect of XX cellular function under the chronic influence of
That's right. We
testosterone.
don't know that. We need better studies on that long-term.
All right. I volunteer Drew. Lisa?
Yes,
You're 42?
I am.
Testicular feminization, remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I've given it up for that.
You're 42?
Yes.
Your ex-husband was transgendered?
He was in the process, yeah.
Okay. So he was becoming a female?
Yes.
And after you got married?
After our divorce.
Oh, after your divorce. Is this the reason you got divorced?
Excuse me?
Is this the reason you got divorced?
No.
Oh, all right. They couldn't get his clothes into the hamper? Was it a bigger issue?
He was a little bit of a cross-dresser during our marriage, but that wasn't any issue with us.
Just out of curiosity, what happened with your marriage?
Cheating on me.
Cheating with...
Alcoholism.
He was alcoholic.
Cheating with women.
Cheating with women. And yet he wanted so he was attracted to women, got reassigned as a woman, and is he carrying on with women still?
He actually committed suicide a couple months ago.
Fantastic.
Which is not unusual in the transgender population. There are a lot of suicides.
That's what I understand.
Is it particularly in the male to female?
Well, I don't know that it's really particularly in the male to female. The numbers on that are so hard to judge because so many female to males never come out. You never hear about them because they don't go through with the surgery. So it's hard to really study that.
It's also easier to blend.
Don't stand out.
Female to male is easier to blend.
Yeah, because the testosterone is so strong.
Yeah, it works. Yeah. Right. And the guys with the Adam's apple and the crazy. Yeah.
Well, you can shave the Adam's apple off now.
I know. I know, but some of them don't. The physicality too. I mean, it seems like they're. I think you would just say, Rene, you'd say, well, I don't know how tall you are, but it's not, there's a guy who's not a big guy. Right. But when you have the big female, it really draws your attention to it. I think it just works better.
Lisa, do you have any questions?
Yeah, my question, of course, it's a moot point in our case anymore. He and I were still best friends, and we have a 14-year-old son, and so the relationship was really tight. But one of the things that he had said that I was always curious about, and yes, I still call him he, although I know her as well, was that the male to female, at least, he was concerned that there wouldn't be the actual orgasms, that there would be not the sexual gratification, and he had said that he would rather be a chick with a dick than not have orgasms anymore. And I'm curious what that kind of success rate is. It's something I've always wondered about.
Well, from the male to females, it's hard to say again, because one of the problems with this is that it's so poorly studied. But of the male to females that I've spoken to, as well as Jamie, the subject of the other movie, many of them do report being able to have orgasm. But Drew may be able to answer this as well. I mean, it's hard to say what is an orgasm. I mean, is it in a man it's recognizable, it's visible. In a woman, it's not always visible. So,
but what she's saying is he, as a male, wasn't willing to sacrifice his experience as a male to make the transition,
and the chance that he wouldn't have one.
Right. And the question is viable. Is
Lisa, did you not have orgasms?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You had them.
Always.
Oh, all right.
How dare you, Adam?
Just checking.
Well, since I met him, yeah.
All right. How's that kid doing, by the way?
He's doing okay. Yeah, it was interesting to hear what you were saying about male to female and how it's not as with the Adam's apple and everything. And he'd only seen a picture of his father as Aaron, and
as a girl or as a boy?
Looks like Dad in a dress.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Dad in a
You
dress.
got a name that works either way.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like.
He'd only seen a picture of Dad as a woman.
Yeah, and said he looked like Dad in a dress. And yeah, but he was a little guy, so he could have pulled it off.
Oh. All right.
He lived.
Well, to me, it would be like one of those 6 foot and under basketball leagues. Like if you were 6'5" and you came in for gender reassignment, I'd toss you out. This is never going to work.
No, I can't do it.
Just suck it up. Yeah, I don't need this going down on my record. By the way, as a failure. You come in as a petite, like my buddy the Wheeze.
Wheeze make good women.
Oh, he does.
Adam,
he did.
Adam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What do you say?
Hey, you share a futon with a man for a year in a one-bedroom apartment. Things happen.
I said
That's
a woman,
all.
not a bitch.
That's all. I'm a passionate man. That's all. All right, we got to take a break. Lots of a fair amount of transgender stuff going on tonight. Dr. Bruce Hensel is here tonight, along with Renee. The Opposite Sex. Renee's Story is the name of the documentary. Is it an hour long? How long is it?
It's an hour and 15 minutes long, followed by a 20-minute panel with other transgenders.
Yeah,
so it's an hour 45.
I don't know that there's ever been I'm not sure there's ever been a movie, really, like a theatrical release. Not a documentary, but anyone really made a serious attempt at one of these movies? I mean...
Yeah, Boys Don't Cry is the Tina Brandon story, which was transgendered, and, she was murdered, of course. Actually, Renee's hero, I believe. Am I right?
Nobody's my hero except for Jesus.
All right.
All right.
That's another side of it.
Don't try to put words in Renee's mouth.
All right. But, so it has been a theatrical, but nobody has ever followed it from start, or at least begin somewhere in the middle to finish before, through the person's eyes, which is what The Opposite Sex does.
Is this a tape, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
No. Well, watch this when I get home. All right. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. I have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ.
Dude, you got issues.
Call LoveLine.
1-800-LOVE-191.
Hey, everybody. It's Adam.
And I'm Dr. Drew.
Here to talk about Axe deodorant body spray.
Yes, sir.
You spray that on, you give Stink the Axe. Hey, everybody. It's LoveLine. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Dr. Bruce Hensel here tonight, along with Renee. Renee, subject of documentary Dr. Bruce Hensel produced called The Opposite Sex, Renee's Story. It's on Showtime. You go www.sho.com, and you find out all the listings. Let's talk to Eric down here on line 4 who saw the documentary. Eric?
Yeah.
You're 18?
Yes.
What's up? You saw the documentary?
Yes.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh, it touched me very much how a man like that can just keep God in his life, dealt a very not good hand, but he can still keep God in his life and religion and still love the world.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, I just had a question of how you felt after the surgery. Did you, like, I know you walked around, like, showing yourself and you were proud of it, but how did you really feel good now? Or do you just feel like so-so, like you don't feel complete?
I know I completely feel complete. It's just a totally different world. All the problems that I had prior to that movie are gone. You know, I have new problems with dealing with penis size and things other men deal with normally every day, which really was never a problem before because I didn't have to directly deal with those things. To whereas I have to directly deal with those things now, but. You know, hey, those are good things to deal with.
What were the problems before the operation that have gone away?
Just, you know, being whole, not dealing with a dildo and not a penis, and you know, those kind of things. I mean, you don't have to.
Like you say, he's now dealing with things that other men deal with every day.
Yeah, I'm dealing with the dildo every night. Every night, except for the dildo gets paid the same as I do.
There you go.
Exactly the same. Yeah. All right, hey, Eric, so you would have intercourse with your wife via like some sort of like a strap-on apparatus or something in the past.
Correct.
All right, and now you can have intercourse?
Not quite intercourse yet. Can do everything else, but except for.
Ooh, is it getting close? It's been a couple years since the surgery. Did you say?
It's been 2 years. Yeah.
Is that the goal? Is like intercourse a reasonable goal?
It's a goal for me.
Go ahead.
For me, it definitely is.
Okay.
To actually feel what you felt your entire life, what you've taken for granted your entire life. I want to feel.
Drew doesn't take it for granted, by the way. He's a passionate man.
No, very much pleased or appreciated
every day.
Thank God every day, yes.
Drops to his knees. Or actually, when his wife drops to his knees, he appreciates it.
Now, Rene, often one of your major goals was feeling whole, right?
Yeah, that's the only goal is to feel body and soul.
For you to have your outsides and insides.
For me, for me, I can't speak for the entire transsexual community. I can just only speak for myself.
Speaking of transsexual community, Cindy?
Hello.
You're 19?
Yes, I am. My question is, my friend has sex with transsexuals and both women, and he says he doesn't like men at all, and he doesn't consider these transsexuals, yet they have penises.
Wait, those aren't transsexuals.
Are they transsexuals or
they
transvestites?
They're transvestite. That's a guy just dresses as a woman, let's just say.
No, they take.
Hey, shut up.
They take hormones.
Shut up.
Okay, I'm listening.
Shut up. Thank you. All right. Then people. The reason I'm doing this, I'm putting on hold because people get very confused about this. They call the wrong people transvestites and transsexual, and it kind of comes interchangeable and all that kind of stuff. So stop me if I'm wrong, and we'll just do one gender here. So, guy who dresses like a woman, that is transvestite. A guy who dresses a woman and takes the hormones can be a pre-op transsexual.
Right.
That's what they would call them, a pre-op transsexual. And then after the operation, you're just a transsexual, right? Or you just are what you become.
You know, I think transsexual just refers to somebody who is one sex and wants to be the other. Mm-hmm. It's that simple. Somebody who just dresses. There are many men who get off as dressing as a woman, and that's a sexual turn-on for them, but they have no desire to be a woman. Mm-hmm. Those are transvestites. Right. You want to change sexes, whatever transition point you're at, you're a transsexual.
Okay, fair enough. Cindy.
Yes.
All right, so now we're back, and your friend, who's a male?
Yes.
Is with men who present as women.
He does both.
And women who present as men.
I know, but listen, goofball, can you make us more confused? You're calling about the fact that he has relations with
people with penises.
People with penises.
Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Exclusively.
No, he does both.
Well, I want to hear both.
The ladies and the
I thought you meant maybe both was female to male transsexuals.
Oh no, I meant he has sex with women and
right.
Okay.
Is one of them you?
No.
Do you like the guy?
As a friend.
No, I mean like.
Yeah. What are you so invested in the guy for?
Well, we've been friends ever since we were 14.
Okay, and you're not attracted to him?
No.
All right.
Okay.
So
I kind of view him as, I feel like he's denying his sexuality.
Well,
it doesn't seem to be.
It seems like he'll take on all comers. Yeah, he's saying he's heterosexual. Well, he has gay sex with these people.
Yes.
And yet he passes himself
women.
off as heterosexual.
Yes.
Was he sexually abused growing up?
He was physically and emotionally.
And maybe sexually too? Because that kind of confusion usually means some
never
sexual.
admitted that.
Well, if the kids that are physically abused are then good targets for sexual abuse, so I think you pretty much, pretty much bank on that.
Either way, the guy's compass is spinning around like he's in the devil's triangle. Yeah, here's the thing. Cindy, I don't think it's your job to really explain to him what his sexual proclivity is or put a label on him. If you want to be friends with him, just be friends with him. And I would probably try to stay out of that whole side of his life because it's going to get ugly.
And if he's confused, get him some therapy so he can clarify things. All right?
Remember, this is about sexuality, not about gender. It's not necessarily what he feels like, it's what he's attracted to.
Right. That's sexuality stuff. Yeah. And that's what's spinning around for him.
Well, and he may be bisexual. Maybe he don't have the problem with who he is. She has the problem with who he is.
Yeah, maybe it just turns him on, whether that's right, wrong, or ill or healthy, the point is it turns him on. That's not about gender.
I think his denial part was the part that she was focusing on. But anyway, all right. I'm tossing our guests out of the studio, and we're going to do a second hour as a regular LoveLine type hour. I want to thank Dr. Bruce Hensel for coming in here, and Renee, and tell everyone to go watch The Opposite Sex, Renee's story, on Showtime, and it just airs different times, so you can find it by going to www.sho.com and watching this documentary. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
Here it is. Bottom line, it sucks being single today. Tons of lame people and no decent prospects. Call the Dateline. Call the Dateline. Call the Dateline.
1-877-889-DATE. LoveLine will be right back. So get your problems ready.
You're listening to Live 105.
Hey, everybody, it's LoveLine. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. David Allen Greer in here tomorrow night for a vastly different show.
Who?
Dr. Bruce Hensel and his subject, Renee, have left the building. We're going to keep him for longer. I haven't had an ass full agenda reassignment. And I'm ready to move on.
Okay.
All right? You ready to
move on?
Yeah, it's too weird. It's too weird in here. I couldn't take it anymore.
Okay.
All right. Devin?
Yes?
I have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ.
You do.
What?
That was being challenged.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
We're talking to Devin. What's up?
And by the way,
Oops. No, we're not.
Cruel guy, God, if he's going to mix people up that way. You know what I mean? If you're talking about the ultimate practical joke is having a male born inside a female's body or vice versa. I mean, as the maker, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That would that's way bigger than putting the cellophane over the toilet.
Actually, if I wish that now, all of a sudden I wish Renee were back. Because I find it interesting his preoccupation with the penis. Like the penis was going to make everything okay.
Yeah, believe me, it doesn't.
No.
Devin?
Yeah.
Sorry, baby doll. Go ahead. You're 21.
Yes, I'm 21. I'm from Kansas City, and I just had a question about last night's show. Nicole Richie was talking about how she could sit on cold floors and have orgasms and have multiple orgasms.
Yes.
And with intercourse, I can have orgasms easily with other things, like, oral sex or with a vibrator.
Yeah. That's the sound I make when I give oral.
Yeah, but having them easy is different than having multiple orgasms. Slightly different issue. But what's the question? What is the question?
Oh, I already asked the question. I just wanted to know,
All right, I don't know. Drew, let's get some more transgendered callers on here. What was her thing?
I didn't get. There's no question.
Nicole Richie had an orgasm and
Multiple.
I didn't. That's what I was
she didn't say
hearing.
that. She said she says I can have them very easily.
Yeah, but she gets to do it just sitting on the floor, putting her mascara on, and I gotta get some oral.
Yeah.
Do you think she had a question?
I don't know.
She's got to be cute. Devin?
Yes, I do. I have a question.
All right, spit it out. Are you good looking?
Yes, very good. Yes.
Very good looking, yes?
Yes.
I know,
That's sexy.
I know, because you're a pain in the ass.
Okay, well, I just wanted to ask you, is there any way that you could have orgasm with intercourse if you haven't had one before?
Some people can, but most women can't.
Yeah.
And a woman that has it typically only with oral sex has great difficulty having with intercourse, and many, if not most, never have it with intercourse.
You
don't cross over.
But if you're sort of if the orgasms come easily, you have a better chance of doing it.
But no, that is very different than what Nicole Richie was describing, which is someone who, the moment intercourse begins, starts having orgasms and continues to have them over and over and over again throughout intercourse.
Mm-hmm.
Not one, not 2 or 3. 40 or 50.
Right.
Oh, she's lucky.
But that person, the Nicole Richie version, doesn't like oral sex. It's sort of like, whatever.
No, imagine. What a package. Doesn't like the oral, so you dodge that bullet, and then just makes you feel like King Kong every time you unzip your fly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great. Yeah. All right, Devin, you're fine, and you can you can try a little self-stimulation during the intercourse, but it usually becomes a little overwhelming for the ladies.
Yes.
Yes, Devin.
Yeah.
No kidding, Adam.
Guys don't really have a version of that, by the way, like rubbing your nipple while you're on top of a chick, or like, I'm going to caress my sack while I'm on you. Give us a little bunghole pleasure while I'm on the woman. Like, do we need anything extra? Imagine.
That's the point.
And by the way, slap in the face to a woman if we did that, the equivalent to what they do.
Yeah.
When we're on them. You know what I mean? Like,
I need a little direct stimulation.
Yeah, you're this is good. I give it a 7. I'm just going to push myself up into the 9s and 10s here. Let me just lick my finger, rub the small circles around my nipple. That would freak a chick out, wouldn't it?
You're freaking me out. Just
yeah, a little sack stroke. Just like I'm thinking. Yeah, like a professor scratches his chin. Yeah,
the Chinaman's beard.
Yeah. All right.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Regular, both. Yeah.
5.
5.
Yeah. Go.
Oh, okay. Let's talk to Brianna. Brianna.
Hi, Brianna. Yeah.
You're 17. What's up? Do a lot of people call you? Do a lot of people call you Brianna?
Yeah.
Or Brianne?
No, maybe a lot of Briannas.
So, but you're not Brianna. You're Brianna, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Do you correct people when they say Brianna?
No, what?
Do you correct people when they say Brianna?
No.
Okay. Yeah. See, Adam likes you.
Yeah.
He almost hung up on you.
I was about to hang up. My finger was right on the dump button. All right. That's good. You don't correct people.
No.
All right, Brianna. What's going on? Let's get a hand in. Break it down now. Let's go. Let's get it going now, Drew. Hey, gentlemen, and I use that term loosely. Helmet, not a chair. Let's go, Brianna.
Okay. Before my boyfriend officially started going out, I gave him head a lot. Mm-hmm. And I really like giving him head, and it turns me on. Mm-hmm. But now, he sort of begs for it and asks for it, every day.
Sure. How old is he?
He's 19.
Yeah.
And now that he likes it, you don't like giving it anymore?
Well, no, I like it. It's just that I wish he didn't ask for it so much. And I tell him, stop asking him, he'll just do things to, hint, come on.
Yeah, but hang on. But think before he started asking for it, how often did you like to do it?
Well, I met him 2 months before we officially started going out, and I gave it to him, I think, about 50 times.
So every day?
Kind of, yeah, every Sunday.
Yeah. Sundays off.
Well, there was 10 days off. Yeah, Sundays
50
off.
times.
Okay, now
that's.
But here's the irony.
Wait a minute. You met him 2 months before you started going out.
Well, we were kind of dating, but it wasn't an official thing. He was kind of getting over his ex-girlfriend. So.
They were seeing each other, but they weren't girlfriend boyfriend yet.
Yeah.
She was doing the
getting over the ex girlfriend. Yeah, you may have tasted a little foreign lady on that Johnson too. Right? Yeah. Yeah.
But more
that's-
importantly,
hold on. Do the getting over math.
Yeah.
19-year-old dude who gets copious amounts of oral sex. Yeah, we can. I'm still working on that. Getting over emotionally, getting over, dealing with the stress, coping,
Or still screwing.
trying to patch it together and
Yeah.
getting a little maintenance humping in. And by the way, we won't be having intercourse. You'll just be essentially squeegeeing her essence off my dork via your mouth. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Son of a bitch. All right, Brianna.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that unflattering portrait,
Yeah,
he was having sex with his ex while you were.
Oh, what? No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But be that as it may, she was sort of.
Well, who
No,
dumped?
it was a couple of months. It took him a while.
But again, this is the new broom sweeping clean.
Yeah.
It should be a version of that for this kind of a situation.
All right. Well, the point is you can tell him that this is not every day.
Well, I do. He just sort of, like, tugs the hair, pushes the head down a little bit.
Does this?
I don't like that.
We're talking about his ex girlfriend, and she dumped him,
Yeah.
and they'd gone out for a while, and then she dumped him.
It was, I don't know for how long. I think it was just, like, over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a pretty bad breakup for him.
Yeah.
But
he was
notice
trying
how.
to
But
patch that
here's
back
the deal:
together.
when he's still with someone else and he's not really available, Brianna's in.
Well, sure, because she's selling at that point.
And as soon as she lands him, and now he wants to have a relationship and is interested in her on a daily basis, she's not interested.
Well, that's the interview part of the job. Now she's on the job.
It's no good.
And she's working at the post office.
Time
by
for
the
a new
way.
job.
This is what you get.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, Brianna, you tell him you'd have a much greater likelihood of getting a little BJ action if you didn't do the hair tugging and the constant haranguing. All right?
Okay.
I'm not sure it's going to make any difference. She's just looking for it. Although that's certainly an unpleasant thing for him to do to her, she's only interested in the cannot haves.
Yeah. And this guy basically, his story is he got dumped by a chick he was hot for, and was.
You're right. He must have been still seeing
He
her.
was
Otherwise,
dancing
Rihanna
for-
would not have been into it. Think about it. Dump another chick. She would have not been in.
He got dumped on. He got dumped on. He was trying to patch it up. He was trying to work on it, trying to scrape back in a relationship. Meanwhile, he was on a little methadone maintenance with Brianna.
Methadone.
Over here, a little methadone. And methadone maintenance. And then at a certain point, it became obvious that the thing was not going to work out and not be salvaged. Probably his ex probably started going out with somebody else.
Yeah.
And then he just agreed to give it a go with Brianna. Yeah? All right. Let's talk to Jane, who's 22. Jane,
Hi.
what's up?
I just started. I'm on my second month of NuvaRing, and I'm wondering. Well, what I was told was that the NuvaRing had less hormones since it was directly in your vagina.
Right.
So I'm wondering. Well, doesn't that decrease the chances of decreasing your sex drive? Because
Yeah,
I feel
they're right,
like-
because it doesn't have so many systemic effects. That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How do they get that in there?
You make it skinny and just stick it up there and leave it in there.
Taco it.
Yeah, taco.
Yeah. So
You fold it over in half, right?
You make the circle into a eclipse, kind of.
kind of like that
chicks aren't
Instead cup,
engineers,
but without
by
the
the
cup.
Like what without the cup?
There's like a
Diaphragm.
I guess.
Oh,
It's like the ring on a diaphragm.
yeah. All right, so you fold it out.
Like a cup, but not a cup.
What did you say? Like a cup, but not a cup?
Oh, there's a like a Instead cup that's rubber and it has stuff for your period.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of I didn't like it.
You has stuff for your period.
Yeah,
You mean like in lieu of using a tampon?
yeah.
Oh, I mean, hold on a second. So it's
a
like
plug.
it's like a rain barrel
Yeah.
as opposed to a sponge.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of.
Wow, and that and
From what I remember, it was it was actually more of a half of a condom with a little thing, with a little rubber thing. That's what it reminded me of.
All right. So anyway, you got the Nuva ring up there.
Right, and the 3 weeks that I have it in, I don't really. It seems to me like sex, I just don't care about it. And then the week that I have it out, I'm back to my normal self where I attack my boyfriend.
There you go.
So
there you
I'm
go.
wondering.
You got to talk to the doctor about it. It may not be the right hormones for you.
Do they adjust the hormones in those Nuva rings?
Harder
just
to
like,
do. Yeah, no, it's hard to do that.
But, so it's not like the pill.
Yeah, it's not all these different varieties. No.
The Nuva ring's just a Nuva ring.
I'll look it up. There may be a couple of doses, but it's much less choices.
And pardon the pun, but it's impregnated with hormones.
Yes,
the rubber and it like releases.
Mm-hmm.
Holy Christ! What is going on out there, Drew?
Good times.
Yeah, I got to get something.
What do you mean?
Just, as a guy, on one hand, it's like, well, good riddance. We don't have to deal with any of this stuff. On the other hand, women have about 700 million more products than we have.
Yeah.
Like, we got aftershave and toilet paper. I don't even know what we get as a guy. What do we get product-wise? I mean,
we get, it all happens later.
Yeah, but
we get
we
urologists and
I'm talking. I'm
catheters.
Saying, Drew, listen to me. Product-wise,
no, I know.
What do we get?
Believe me, they're products. You just ain't seen them on the shelf.
Look, I'm not talking about.
I mean, national brands.
Yeah, I'm just talking about products. Yeah. I'm not that you would purchase at a store, not stuff you get at a medical supply house.
Right.
I'm just junk. I mean, women have 450 things that go in the coos alone.
Yeah.
We got nothing. We got a condom.
How about things that just goes on hair or goes on eyelids?
Oh, eyelids.
Think about it.
I didn't even know I had eyelids.
No, you don't.
Yeah, guys, and we got nothing that goes. Here's what we got for the eyes. We got sunglasses. And I got one of them big lovey shade things, a big furry shade things I like to nap on the plane with. But that's it. And yeah, okay, listen, if you're gay enough, you can use some of the exfoliating scrub or whatever. But I get, you know where we beat the chicks out on? The acid reflux stuff. We get to eat more of that stuff. But nothing to say they can't do it either.
It's not just for them.
Yeah, I know. But then they would say, well, you could put the eye stuff on. But no, that's for you.
Yeah, do we have anything that's peculiarly, uniquely for male?
Yeah, a C-ring.
C-rings, you're right.
You do the C math, by the way.
You're right, but there aren't that many product variations around the C-rings.
And
It doesn't come in
here's
that many
the thing, too. Like, you sit around and watch TV, it's just everything,
Yeah.
Especially if you're looking at any chick-oriented whatever. It's all the commercials. You get nothing. We're left out. Ironically, who pays for it, Drew? That's right. Me and you, my brother.
Well, that's because you have all that, the male has such an advantage in the salary department.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's the only
we get
reason.
everything handed to us. BJ.
Oh, my.
BJ.
Novelty sleeping.
BJ's been on hold for 94 minutes. Hold on a second. All right.
Wow.
We just struck gold. That is that's what you call gold.
Look, I am your son.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rene.
Luke. I am your son, Luke. I am your father.
If you wake him up, I'll kill you. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now, here's a couple of things. First off, BJ swears up and down to his buddies he doesn't snore when they're mad at him.
Well, he's mad at them, but they bring it up.
Yeah, I like that too. I like that one. I really enjoy that one where you go camping with one of your buddies. You guys end up in the same hotel room, whatever the situation is. And the guy wakes up the next day and he's like, dude, you were sawing logs all last night. Hey, I don't snore.
Yeah, I'll kick your ass.
That's what I do. I make it up. I do that sometimes. I'll do it with my wife. Right in the middle of the night, she's I don't even know if she's breathing. I knock her. Quit it! I yell at her. Then give her an earful the next morning. Yeah, like, that's what you do?
It's comical. Funny. Everyone does that,
that's
right?
That's one of those, and that's all you need to know about how horrible humans are. When somebody says, hey, you were snoring last night. No, I wasn't. Really? What was I hearing? What's in it for me? That's what we have to ask ourselves. What's the motivation?
Yeah.
So you made no audible sound came out of your mouth. I just falsely accused you of it. And perhaps if you really were snoring, I would have let you slide. Is that the thing, or would I say something for that?
Oh,
too?
dude, the motivation is you're trying to humiliate me, man.
Yeah.
Now,
listen, I know better. All right.
And by the way, if you're trying to humiliate, you're just fine at that without the snoring.
Yeah. There are other ways to do it. BJ.
I got the sound turned way down, too.
Wow. Now, here's the thing, too. First off, I'm amazed that some people make it through the night every night.
Alive.
It's like, if your lung would collapse at some point, or they actually seem like it's such work to breathe for them that eventually their heart's just going to stop.
There is sleep apnea, and that BJ, I think, may well have it.
Read BJ's, the poor bastard's prob.
Premature ejaculation, only had sex with one girl.
21.
Happened all the time. Now, we've heard, and by the way, we've heard a lot of violent snoring in our day on the show. I look at it as the ultimate compliment as a talk show host, that when we can go ahead and punch up line 5 and 3/4 of people are still unlocked. BJ has been waiting around for over an hour and a half, but this snoring that he does is really
medical.
Yeah, it's from the cockpit. It sounds like some of those early Apollo missions when they would talk to Shepard or whoever the hell was going circling the world's the globe. BJ. Well, that's it for the show, Drew. This is the rest of the night.
And here's what's even scarier. Let it be for a second. I think he can do much better.
Oh, BJ? Yeah. Oh, no, this is him. He's sitting up.
I think this is at his
He hasn't hit REM yet.
Yeah. This is at his best. If head goes back on his back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
BJ is not a small boy. No, that's not.
Guys with initial names are usually they go about 80 pounds more than your average guy. That's number one. And then guys who
obstruct when they breathe.
No, yeah, but I'm picturing the curtains moving in the room.
Yeah.
Like
it's like Fred Flintstone.
Ooh, he almost died. I'm amazed too.
Behind a Barbera cartoon.
I'm amazed at the guys who snore too, on how much variation there is in even like a 30-second period. That it's an all night. I mean, you're sawing away all night. You'd think you'd pretty much just put together a kind of a Three Stooges novelty snore, and that would be that would be it. But they're all over the map.
Yeah.
Like you'll just see them. Like they'll do an inhale and an exhale. They'll put together about 5, and then the 6th one's like all of a sudden there's a huge deviation.
That's why the sleep is so disturbed, because it causes arousals all night long. And having to work against it, it's actually puts tremendous pressure on their heart. Actually does. So when Fred, inhales and the curtains come in, goes out and the curtains go out.
Right. Oh. It may have been what we call nocturnal emission.
I really do have his potentiometer like at a half mast right now.
Really?
Well, tell people what that means. You just basically turn his mic.
It's down to like from 10 to 5.
Wow. We're at 10s, and he's half our volume. And yet shaking the earth.
Jeez, I hope he lives alone. All right. Let's take a call.
I wonder if anything has anything to do with his premature ejaculation.
Why?
I don't know if any of that physiology of his sleep and body habits and stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, it may. I have no idea. I'm supposed to take a break. We will do that. Michael's 24, male exotic dancer. Sex is great, but can't get a girlfriend. Really? Male exotic dancer can't get a girlfriend? Something's up with that. And we got to take a break, but hold on. Michael?
You're gay.
Yeah, whatever. No, I get...
Now you know why?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Horrible attitude.
Horrible attitude.
You're gay.
I'm gay.
Please. All right. So you can't get a girlfriend.
I've got plenty of women, lady friends, but no one that wants to actually date me seriously.
Shocking.
And why do you think that is? Because of your profession?
I'm thinking. I don't know if I should like change my name and leave the state, and because, well, specifically the last girl I tried to date seriously, it seemed I had danced for one of her coworkers' bachelorette parties, and as soon as she saw me with my friend,
she ratted you out?
Yeah.
All right.
I pretty much bet that it won't make any difference if people knew his job or not.
What's that?
I pretty much could bet that it wouldn't make any difference if people knew his career or not.
If she was really into him?
No, that he would have trouble finding a girlfriend, whether or not the word was out about his career.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a slap in the face. Well, hold on, Michael. I'd like to help young Michael.
Okay.
First, we got to see how BJ's doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna. All right. I'm scared to go to break because we got lightning in a bottle here, and BJ may just die on us, or worse, wake up. All right.
No chance to wake up.
We'll get back, and I would, Anderson, I would then like to put BJ under Michael's call. Because I don't want to go away from, you know what I mean? He's like a child.
You got to monitor him.
Well, they got the baby monitors.
Of course, it's that.
I don't know if Michael would like that though. He might be upset with that.
Oh, that's gonna be a river we're gonna have to cross after this.
If you need help, hang up and then dial.
LoveLine. 1-800-LOVE-191. LoveLine will be right back.
Hey, everybody, it's LoveLine. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Hey, just go ahead and eat those, would you? Drew got himself some M&Ms. The thing came out. The machine did that thing where Drew put his 50 cents in. The thing came to the very edge and then just stopped. And Drew then viciously attacked the machine like the ape on the Samsonite commercial.
Huh.
He went after that. I've never seen such upper body strength. And you... Drew did a move. It was a clean and jerk move.
It was a shiver.
Put his right. Well, first he threw a quick forearm shiver to the machine to loosen it up. Then he threw his right foot back, put both his palms on the top edge of the machine, and pressed it so that it actually tilted back at about 45 degrees. And it was really, the equivalent. They say. Actually, they never say it anymore, but they used to say, when a mother sees her child trapped under a station wagon, she's capable of states of amazing strength, superhuman strength. Lift the whole station wagon. Drew has that when somebody has 50 cents worth of his M&Ms and aren't giving it to him.
It's like being on PCP, really.
Yeah. You're like Rodney King.
Yeah, if I'd kept escalating, I would have been lifting thing up with my forearm pretty soon.
Yeah,
curling it.
Cops could have been shooting you with beanbags and tasers. It wouldn't have stopped him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what you call priorities, ladies and gentlemen. It's BJ. BJ's. No, that's Anderson just potting him down because Anderson had it up at a normal thing.
I could you saying his name?
That was sleep apnea. That was him not breathing. That was? Yeah. Now you can hear some big ones.
Really?
Yeah.
We got Big Set rolling in.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This guy,
it better be. I mean, we could just
have little breasts, little ones, and then
I'm gonna turn my headphones down.
Little. Here it comes.
No, I think he died.
Here it comes. Set's coming. Outside.
Oh, really? No, he's back. He's back to his rhythm.
See all that shallow breathing? It's got to be followed up by some big ones. There we go.
Oh, there we go. All right.
We're due for some. All
right. Well, that's why I'm scared to go away from him.
Me too.
That's why, Anderson, you gotta punch up Michael over here, the male exotic dancer, and keep BJ potted up as well because I'm scared something may happen to this kid. There we go.
There's just plenty of women to date, just none that I want to. The ones I do get screwed up real bad.
What do you mean get screwed up?
Well, like I was telling you earlier, with the one girl and her friend, getting caught through that. It just really, really, getting really irritating, and I'm.
Well, how many dates did you have with the girl?
Oh well, we've. Let's see here. We went out several times. Then it got to the point where after she found out what I did, she got real interested in it for a while. We talked about it almost nonstop for like 2 weeks, and then
about your job.
Suddenly we were too good of friends to date.
Okay.
BJ, pretty strong feelings.
Yeah, BJ just weighed in on that one. Speaking of weighing in, what do you figure BJ goes about 3 bells, 4 bells?
350.
All right, Michael. Yeah.
I really don't think it's the work.
I really don't.
It seems
I
like
don't either.
It's easy
Now,
to blame it. It's part of the problem.
Do you work at a club, or do you just do like bachelorette parties?
It's more money if I do private parties.
Let's put it this way. Do you find that all your peers that do this dancing cannot have girlfriends?
The women they date generally are not the women that I want to date.
All right, but they have girlfriends.
Interesting. Yeah. All right. And how much do you make at a bachelorette party, average?
Oh, out here it's not too well. When I was out in the East Coast, I was doing $500-600 a night. But I'm back in New Mexico where I was born and raised, and now I'm lucky to top 2.
Although you can get a nice apartment in New Mexico for $400 a month, right?
I'm moving as soon as I can.
Why? What are you doing back there?
You need some money. Well, let me ask you this: Do you ever have sex with any of the women in the bachelorette party?
No, because I kind of stick to. I've got a few really good friends with the benefits going on. That's all I stick to.
All right.
There's just too much stuff out there to take the chance.
All right. Anderson, hang up on Michael, please.
Thank you, BJ.
BJ, much more entertaining.
I agree.
Okay, so here's the thing. Something's a little up with Michael.
Which is what I was picking up on the
it's
beginning.
not the profession. And let me say this, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. All this stuff you attribute, reasons as to why you're not getting some or getting too much or whatever. It's all just dust in the wind.
Yeah.
If chicks are into you, they're into you.
Right.
It's not the car you drive. It's not you giving them cocaine. It's not the money in your pockets. All that stuff. Sure, it helps. It helps if you pull up in something nice instead of a piece of ass. But either they're into you or you're not, or they're not, and they really don't care so much what you do. And especially a stripper, they'd go for that.
BJ would anyway.
Wow. All right, let's talk to Summer, Anderson. And again, we have to keep BJ on line 1, who's been on hold for now 106 minutes. Summer? Yeah, BJ's doing a little snoring for those of you who just tuned in.
Summer?
Yes,
What's happening, baby doll? You're 25.
I'm 25.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my husband went to a social event this weekend.
Social event.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I won't tell you what. But we lost each other there.
Wait a minute. Was it some kind of swingers party?
No, it was a concert.
No, you go to the Weenie Roast?
I can't tell you that.
All right, hang up on Summer, please, Anderson.
No, okay. it
Hang
was
up,
the
hang
Winnie
up.
Rose.
It's too late.
Hey!
Hang up on her. Thank you. See ya. And listen, everybody, there are things you don't want to tell us. That's fine. But if we ask and you don't tell us, I hang up on you.
Yeah.
That's it. There's policy. Let's talk to Lauren, who's 24. She's would be on line 3 there, Anderson.
I better take this one. It's been an hour and a half, 2 hours for them.
Well, too late. Lauren,
Hello?
you're 24?
Yes.
What's happening?
I got a question actually about my boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
We met through one of my ex-boyfriends. They've been friends since they were like 5. And we dated for about 2 weeks. And we made plans to hang out this past Friday night. Well, he didn't end up calling me. and I waited until about 11 or midnight. I ended up calling him. He was really loud with me on the phone, started swearing at me, calling me all kinds of names.
Wow.
He told me that it was over. He wanted nothing to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, earlier in the day when we were talking, he told me how much he loved me and how much he wanted to stay with me. So we broke up. We went the whole weekend without speaking.
Right.
I get to work on Monday, and he was sending me all kinds of messages about I love you, I miss you, I'm sorry. Go back out with me, and I'm confused. I don't know what to do.
Was he on drugs or drinking or something when this happened?
No, like Friday when we were supposed to hang out, he had to go see his probation officer for something that happened 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That was alcohol related.
Uh-huh.
And when I called him, he was at the bar. And he told me pretty much, if you don't trust me, don't call me ever again.
Uh-huh.
And it's
What?
not-
Yeah. What do you get into trouble with the law for?
He got into trouble. It was 2 years ago. He got a DUI.
I see.
So he's an alcoholic.
So now,
Hold on a second. You don't get a probation officer because you get a DUI.
well, it was a minor offense. It wasn't anything major.
Yeah, why did he get a probation officer then?
I don't know. See, that's something I don't know.
Well, wait a second. When did he get the DUI?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a probation officer when you go in the joint, not when you get a DUI.
Well, he did tell me that he spent 6 months in jail because of the DUI.
Okay, that means it was his third DUI.
See, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't sweat the details. The point is he's an alcoholic. Or he had other more serious offenses.
That's a best case scenario.
Yeah, right.
3 DUIs is a best case scenario for this idiot.
Well, he's not an alcoholic because we'd hang out all the time, and he doesn't like to drink that much.
Where's my bourbon?
I know, but you know what's great is really, and only LoveLine callers are capable of this kind of denial, which is, I called him. He was at the bar.
He's yelling at me.
He was yelling at me. He got in a little trouble because he was talking to his probation officer over a DUI offense he had earlier.
And how dare you ask him to be in a bar?
But he's not an alcoholic. He doesn't like alcohol.
Well,
really?
He's not. To me, an alcoholic is someone that drinks every day and they're dependent on it.
Nope.
And
That's
he's
and
not.
that's the end stages of alcoholism, Lauren.
Yeah, look, he was at a bar talking to his probation officer about his last DUI.
No, he went to the bar after he talked to his probation officer.
That's even better.
Okay.
That's even better.
I'm sorry. Hey, listen, when you're wrong, you're wrong. I owe you an apology. Talk to his PO and then went to the bar. Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out, because he wants to get back with me, and I'm just trying to figure out if
how old is he? How old is he?
He's 22.
Okay. Do you have any kids?
I have a 2-year-old son from my ex.
All right.
That I was with for 3 years.
Was your ex an alcoholic too?
My ex, he's not an alcoholic, but he's quite violent.
Was he a drug addict?
He's not a drug addict. He used to do a lot of drugs when he was younger, but now
All right.
Listen,
clean.
Lauren,
here. Okay, let me, Drew. I know you got stuff to say, but I got better stuff to say.
You
Here's
Mormon?
The deal. Here's the deal.
No, I'm not Mormon.
All right. Here's the deal.
I expect BJ to answer too.
I know.
No, I'm not.
Well, two snorts for no, one for yes. Lauren, you got a kid. You got a little bit of a wide ass, and you think your number's been lowered, and you got to settle for 22-year-old guys' parolees who verbally abuse you when they're in a blackout state.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's the first that he's ever done.
Hey, Lauren, just listen.
I know
Stop making excuses.
I know your dad was a world-class jackass
and an alcoholic himself,
and that's all you know. But for Christ's sake, on behalf of your kid, huh? How about you just break up with this guy? You go on your own for a little while. You focus on your relationship with your child. You focus on your work and your spirituality and your friendships. And then when a decent guy comes along, you have a boring relationship with him and not after your kid up any more than you already have.
There you go.
All right?
He's not around my son.
All right. Hang up on her. It's great. It's great. And listen, you dads out there, you alcoholic dads who physically abused or maybe emotionally abused or just neglected or sexually abused, it just put a shotgun in your mouth, you pussies. You pussies. I mean, this is what you get. you end up, your daughter, then she goes up hooking up with felons and making apologies for them, and excuses for the rest of her life. That's it. And effing up whatever kid she has. She's got a 2-year-old kid with another dude who was a mean guy. Shocking. And by the way,
who used to be a drug addict. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you listen? What do you think? By the way, as a society, how many of these people can we support? I mean, we're talking about this kid. You know what I mean? We need a certain amount of scientists and doctors. We need a certain amount of people that are employable. We need people to pay taxes. We need people to build roads. We need people to drive buses. All you effed up people with your effed up offspring, we can't handle it. The prison's already full. Remember?
Ask BJ for an opinion.
BJ. That's right. See, when you're right, you're right. All right, we got to take a break.
He agrees with that, too.
BJ's 21. It's been on hold for now 106 minutes.
Well, I've been on hold all that time. He's been entertaining us for much of it.
Oh, yeah. He's been on the air for about 40 minutes. He has a narcolepsy problem.
That's sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea. That is snoring you're hearing, everybody. Yeah,
We're concerned
that's
he
the
may
way
expire
in, right?
if we don't keep it monitored here.
Yeah. We'll take ourselves a break. Drew, he's calling from Nevada. Maybe you should head out there with a crash cart.
Yeah.
He's going to flatline any second now. All right, we'll take a quick break. There we go. There we go. He'll be right back.
LoveLine.
Okay, wait. My hair.
We'll be right back.
Hey, everybody, it's LoveLine. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. David Allen Greer. Dag, also known as my main man, will be in here tomorrow night.
Oh.
There's BJ. BJ's 21. He's on hold for quite some time. BJ is a world-class snorer, and we'll just... I'm so intrigued with his violent snoring, his novelty snoring, that I vowed to leave him on, not only for tonight, Drew, but until he wakes up.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk to John on line 5, who weighs 408 pounds. Sean?
How's it going, Adam, Dr. Drew?
How are you doing, John?
I'm doing pretty good.
Do you snore yourself, John?
Actually, I do have mild sleep apnea.
Mm-hmm.
But
BJ's not so mild.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm having gastric bypass, the Roux-en-Y.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm having that next Thursday.
Uh-huh.
And now you're 408 pounds. How tall are you?
6'2".
6'2".
Yeah.
And you're 19, which is relatively young for the gastric bypass surgery.
They're doing so much of this now. These bariatric procedures are just so common.
Yeah, well, let's just talk about this for a second, because and Drew, tell me if you disagree, but here's what it's the way it's starting to look like. If you're Anderson, pot BJ down for just 1 second. I gotta
not too far down now.
Not too far, but we'll pot him back up for a second. But John's got a serious call and deserves a good answer. I think we're starting to realize that if you make it up over 400 pounds by 19, you got a genetic problem here.
Oh, yes.
And
it's over 300 pounds.
people love to do that. You slob, or you're eating too much, or have some self-respect, or pull it together. But look, every 19-year-old dude eats like he's going to the chair the next day. I mean, they're slobs. You know what I mean? I knew guys they'd be driving through all night takeout places. Before in the morning they'd get milkshakes and stuff like that. Guys eat like pigs when they're 19, and the fat ones are just fat because their body metabolizes it or doesn't metabolize it in a certain way. And the super skinny ones, well, why are they super skinny? I mean, we all knew the guy pounding away 3 cheeseburgers and never exercised, never seen him put on a pound. I mean, that's just all metabolism. So I think what they're trying to starting to figure out now is John's 19, he's 400 pounds. Instead of torturing the guy and having yo-yo for another 15 years and blowing his heart and his knees out, let's just give him the surgery now.
Oh, absolutely.
Actually, I just came back from college, and I lost about 20. I went down like 380.
Right, but you I mean, you're probably not going to see 300 just using discipline and willpower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just get the surgery.
Yeah, the idea is that you have to sort of compensate for the genetic problem by changing the way your gastrointestinal system operates.
Well, exactly. That's the rural wire. You know, by having the rural wire, you can't have. You know, I won't be able to have any sugar. Don't even Splenda. Can't drink anymore. So I think that's a big push for me in the future. But my question is that I smoke a little herb. I just want to know, after my surgery, a few months after my surgery, will I be still able to smoke some weed?
Wow, like that's how addictive pot is.
Well, why? He likes the weed.
That's what I'm saying. Even though it's killing him, and
it's not killing him.
His wife's 400 pounds. This may be the issue.
What? Oh, you get John. You get stoned and you eat?
No, actually, you know what? I don't eat. I just chill, just watch my movies and just lay down.
So
let me explain something. John, are you a brother man?
Yeah.
Okay. The black guy don't have the munchie gene. That's a white guy thing. We were over at Snoop Dogg's house.
That's my main mayonnaise.
We got stoned with the guy. Jimmy raped the refrigerator and then ate the entire basket of muffins. He got Snoop Dogg.
Oh, he got
Snoop not interested in food.
Yeah.
And it really made me realize brothers get stoned and play Xbox. Whitey gets stoned and eats.
I'm a veterinarian.
I'm serious. Someone's got to look into this. I mean, Snoop Dogg doesn't get the munchies. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay. Right.
John, ironically, 408 pounds, gets stoned and doesn't get the munchies.
But you may want to look into it with the surge and the fact that you have marijuana addiction, because you could develop full-blown withdrawal. It could really be kind of a mess here in the post-operative period.
All right.
It could significantly affect your post-operative course, okay?
Really?
Their marijuana withdrawal can be horrible.
Oh, well, not withdrawal. He's going to keep doing it.
Yeah, but he's going to be recovering for a week or two. You're getting opiates.
Smoke a little herb.
You're getting opiates. That'll block the withdrawal.
Here's the question.
I haven't smoked anything in about a month, so I'll just,
all right. Then don't worry about it.
But here's the thing. Thanks, John. Good luck to you. Call us back. Tell us how it goes.
Yeah.
Here's the... Yeah.
Let's spend the last 2 minutes trying to wake up BJ. You got to try and wake him up.
Trying to wake up BJ is like telling a chick her boob is hanging out of her bikini top. Why do it? We got a nice eyeful right now. You know what I mean? I mean, this is a train we got to ride. You see what I'm saying, Drew?
Let's just enjoy it for the last 10 seconds here.
Yeah. And to BJ's credit, normally they wake up, and God knows where the earpiece is on the phone, because I hope that, it actually sounds like he swallowed the phone.
I hope that's where it is.
The mouthpiece is near the mouth, right?
I hope so.
Where could the earpiece be? It must have slid down, right? Or could he hear us?
He could hear us probably.
All right, we got to take a break. We're going to get back. When we come back, we'll before we wrap it up, we'll check in with BJ.
Okay.
After this.
Okay, so I know there's nothing wrong with me. So what's up?
So I was like you, and I used to think that these Datelines were totally cheesy.
Why can't I meet anybody?
But I tried everything else and thought, what the hell? So I called the Dateline and actually met a cool guy.
I called the Dateline and I hooked up with some cool people.
Believe it or not, other normal people are out there looking too.
877-889-DATE.
1-800-LOVE-191. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Live 105.
Well, that's the show, everybody. BJ potted up, Anderson? Yes, he is.
It's alive. It's good.
All right.
Nasal BiPAP, monsieur. Got to get some nasal CPAP going for him. Force some oxygen into those lungs.
Yeah. David Allen Greer in here tomorrow night. Oh, God. I hope BJ makes it till tomorrow night, though. So until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
Nobody's my hero except for Jesus.
This has been LoveLine. The opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the staff, management, sponsors, or this station. The producer for LoveLine is Ann Ingold. LoveLine is a presentation of Westwood One Entertainment.